The suit. You gotta take it off.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
I know what it feels like. It feels good. The power. Everything. But you'll lose yourself. Let it go.
I like being mad. It makes me happy.
What's up, everybody, and today we're taking a look at my Marvel Legends custom Sam Raimi Venom. This is a figure that I've been working on for quite a while, so let's take a look at his details, of course. So I did use the Marvel Legends No Way Home Spidey body. Just figured that body would work out the best, and plus keep him at least around the same scale as the No Way Home, Tobey Marvel Legends figure. I figured it would just work out the best since, Venom in that movie was a bit on the small side and was skinny and more so the same height as Spider-Man, actually. But I did add some little bits and pieces here to really bring him to life a little bit. So, of course, you got the kind of sculpted a little bit there on the feet. Sculpted little bits here and there just to kind of make the webbing a little bit on the messier side. Like, of course, here around the waist, I added some sculpt work to those bits. I dyed the figure black at first just to get everything, totally black. These hands are actually from a Killmonger figure from the Black Panther wave. I think they worked out pretty well. They kind of feel maybe a little bit big for hands, but it is Venom, so, it kind of works just a little bit. They do feel, a little bit big. But I did paint the claws on it. Maybe I should have gone with white instead of gray, but I can't get the exact kind of white that he had. But, of course, here I added some sculpt work to as well in the stomach webbing there, just to give it that, extra little bit of messiness to it. And I did actually have to sculpt this spider symbol. That was one of the things that took so much time. It's a little messy here in some areas, but, it came out pretty well. Overall, it was very hard to actually sculpt this thing. Lots of trial and error with it, but I think it came out pretty decent. And, of course, I did do the back spire too as well, and there is a lot more messy webbing going on in the back. In the movie, his symbol doesn't exactly attach to each other. It's kind of like this semi-attached, kind of broken up. So that's why it looks like that. But, honestly, it came out pretty well. I'm actually pretty happy with the overall end result. I was working on this thing for almost a year, it feels like, just because of how intricate and hard it was. And this is the first time I've ever really sculpted this crazy on a figure. But I think he came out pretty decent. And of course, the head is a 3D printed head that I got off of eBay. I think I painted it up pretty decently. At first, his whole mouth was just, pink, but then I realized, in the movie, his gums were kind of more on the red side with the pink tongue. I did have to kind of make my own ball joint piece in there because the 3D printed head didn't come with a pre-drilled out or even remotely any type of ball joint socket. So I did have to do that myself. But going back to the head, the gums I didn't realize were red in the movie, and the tongue was pink, so I had to go back in and redo the gums just to make sure they were that red color. And then I just kind of put a coat of gloss nail polish on top of it just to give it that slimy kind of look. And then I also did add, some wash to the teeth. But that's pretty much over the details and what I did to the figure. Overall, pretty happy with the look. Since I didn't make any accessories for him, and this is pretty much all he is, let's get straight into the articulation. So, pretty much for the articulation, it's gonna be pretty much the same as the Toby figure. If you do have that figure, not much has really changed, even with the sculpt work. Still have full range of articulation, although with the head, you get quite a decent little bit more, just due to the nature of the 3D printed head and the way I did the ball joint. So you get quite a bit of range out of that head. It can spin full 360, of course. And then when it comes to the arms, you do have that kind of really bad butterfly joint that the Toby figure has, where it feels like it's moving, but it's not really moving. The arms, of course, do go up about that far, I'd say. And then you can spin them full 360, bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows. And then you have a hinge and swivel at the wrist, unhindered, even though it's a different set of hands. You got the diaphragm joint, of course, and the ab crunch. He can go forward about that far, back about that far. Almost looks like he's broken. But yeah, nothing really changed, even though I did a lot of sculpt work with him. So the leg, of course, can go up about that far, back about that far, splits, and the usual leg articulation when it comes to this specific Spider-Man figure. It's not terrible. You know, I definitely wish I probably could have made a SH Figure Arts custom not Black Suit Spider-Man, a SH Figure Arts Sam Raimi Venom, but unfortunately there's no head that I can really get, as far as I know, to make one, and plus that would take a lot more time than a Marvel Legends, and plus Marvel Legends is the main bulk of what I collect, so I wanted him to scale with the Legends figures. But that's pretty much it for the articulation, so let's run him through the post-test. I hope you guys enjoyed that little pose test. Now let's talk about the scale. So he's pretty much going to scale as you would pretty much expect with this guy. So, of course, we have him next to my last review that I did, which was the Marvel Legends Deadpool. And then, of course, we got to bring in some Spider-Man characters. So here he is next to the Figure Arts Toby. You could make this work, but I don't know. I feel like the Figure Arts Toby's a little on the smaller side. And of course, here he is next to the Emo Figure Arts Toby, where Spider-Man, the Black Suit Spidey, which I plan to do a revamp video on. And then, of course, here we have him next to the body that he uses. So they pretty much stack up right next to each other just perfectly. And since I did kind of make my Marvel Legends Spider-Man Toby figure more of a Spider-Man 3 look, this works out quite beautifully. Get him out of the picture. Now let's do some other comparisons. So here he is next to my custom Black Suit Toby Marvel Legends, which I plan to redo some certain parts. Still need to work out the head, and those hands have lost their dye, which kind of sucks, so I'm going to have to fix that somehow. And then, of course, we got some villains. So, of course, here's Sandman. Well, the No Way Home version, but a Sandman nonetheless, to, coincide with the Spider-Man 3 movie aesthetic. And then, of course, bringing in some Venom characters. Let's compare him next to the current movie Venom. the Tom Hardy Venom. As you can see, the scale is all over the place. They don't exactly scale with each other all that well. Now for a Carnage comparison. Here he is next to my custom movie Carnage, which I also plan to do a kind of revamp video or custom showcase video. But that is pretty much it for the scale on this guy, so let's take a look at my final thoughts. As far as the final thoughts go for this figure, it's not going to be anything about the figure itself, because I have already reviewed this specific type of figure before, so I will just go over the figure itself in the, the customization process. So the painting, super simple. It was hard to get a color match for the symbol for the movie, and, obviously for the mouth area. Other than that, the sculpt work was a pretty big pain in the ass. It was not that easy to do. And obviously, getting the head to actually fit on the ball joint, that was very difficult. Dyeing the figure is tedious. And another thing, too, is there's not a lot of good looks of the suit in the movie. Unfortunately, it's really hard to tell what color is which and, what goes where, but overall, I think it came out, as good as it was possibly going to come out. And I'm just happy that I have a Sam Raimi Venom Marvel Legends figure now in my possession. But that is pretty much it for my final thoughts. Bit of a short kind of final thoughts, but I did want to get this video out as part of my, kind of scarier looking characters for, the month of October. And I'm just happy I finally got to finish this figure and get him out to you guys in the form of a video. Overall, happy with how it came out, but that's pretty much all I really have to say. And yes, I'm reusing footage here just because I couldn't find any more poses since I don't have a lot of accessories for him. But anyway, that's all for this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.